Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, as you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about top 5 eyeshadow palettes that I think transcend all seasons. So the 5 palettes I selected are ones from my stash. Some of them are a little newer, some of them are definitely a little older, but all of them universally can be worn all year round. They're great for a lot of different looks, both dynamic and bold. And really, there's no way to go wrong with any of these palettes. So if you want to see my top 5 eyeshadow palettes that, again, transcend seasons, make sure to keep on watching. And please don't forget to subscribe because I do upload twice a week. That is the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first palette is actually going to be the one I use today. This is the Marc Jacobs iconic Scandalust palette. Now, Brandon bought this for me when I was having a really bad day and my Manny MUA Makeup Geek palette was like dried out and I couldn't really get a look out of it, and he found that this basically mirrored all of the shades in that palette. I did a whole dedicated video to it. I did use it for my eye look today, which is very rose gold and beautiful. These are super neutral and they work every single day of the year. This shade right here is by far like my absolute statement shade. It works so well. And it's just such an appealing shade. Like, I love rose gold tones, and I just find that, in general, they are super flattering. And once again, they transcend season. So you can get, in spite of only being 7 shades, you have 2 very intense foils. So you could do super warm, you could do super neutral, you can actually go a little more cool toned, you can even go all matte with this palette, and for 7 shades, you will use every shade in the palette. So the next palette is one I actually have already given a lot of love to, but I do feel like lately it has become a ride or die staple for me, and it is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. Now, I have been obsessed with this palette lately. I have tapped into every single shade in here. This was the only palette I brought when I did my brother's wedding. It was me and my sister's makeup, plus the next day I had the BoxyCharm Boxy in session. This palette was all I used, and basically all last month, this was it. Now, you can get a lot of very wearable everyday looks. You also have some warmer and very vibrant pops of color that's really good for both the summer and the spring. I know that this is very neutral, and I have one more palette that's more on the neutral side, and the other 2 are a little more bold. But this, I'll link the dedicated video. It is totally worth looking into, and it is absolute magic. So those are my 2 Sephora brand palettes. The next one is much more affordable. This is the BH Cosmetics Desert Oasis palette. This palette also got a dedicated video that I will link up above. But it is just so pretty, super wearable. You get all of your neutrals to do everyday looks, but you also get some nice autumn, fall pops of color, some beautiful summery pops of color, a frosty blue, which for me is like the absolute necessity out of any winter palette. Do you just see how frosty and beautiful that is? I'll be using that all winter long, no question, no exceptions. It is literally the type of shade that I live for the second it gets really cold out. Plus, these highlighter shades work really well on the face. I have had this on all day, so I'm going to amp up the glow a little bit by dipping into this large highlighty shade Mirage right here, which you guys have seen me wear many times. But for such an affordable palette, you see how that instantly just adds a wet glow to the skin? I have high-end highlighters that don't even do this much. Are you kidding me? So, this is the second video I'm filming in my new setup, and honestly, now that I see the way my highlight is popping in this lighting, I am here for it. So the last 2 palettes actually come from e-commerce brands, so they are predominantly online. The first one is going to be a little less affordable, and it is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Thirsty palette. This was part of the summer launch, and obviously it does work very well for summer. However, these middle row of shimmer shades are some of the most blinding, intense, and honestly fabulous shades you will ever use, ever. I think that they are super wearable, and honestly, all of the neutrals in here will work very well all year round. These shades are my go-tos for the spring. These shades are my go-to for the summer. And with this look, you can deepen anything up for winter like it's nothing. The only thing that I feel maybe you can argue there's no real fall shades, but honestly, if you go in with this super coppery shade right here, Like, tell me that does not scream pumpkin spice latte to you. Like, come on. Seriously? Like, one swipe magic pigmentation. This palette needs to be owned and used by literally everybody. With the exception of the Alien palette, because it did just launch and I still haven't decided if I'm ordering it yet, I have every Jeffree Star palette, and this one, above and beyond every other one, literally game changer. The last palette is also an e-commerce brand, but it is a little bit more affordable. This is the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop Zodiac Palette. Now, obviously a palette that is called the Zodiac is going to be geared towards the whole year because there's a shade designed for every sign and therefore every, like, almost month. So I am a Leo and I absolutely love the gold Leo shade in here. Like, I'm gonna put it right next to Jeffree Star. And look at that. Like, ColourPop is giving Jeffree Star a run for their money. These shades are super beautiful, super wearable. You definitely get some of your more intense shades that are a little more vibrant. So you do have some beautiful pops of color. I'm a sucker for a pretty blue, like, I did a video, I will link it as well, using like this blue as my feature shade. And honestly, like, tell me you cannot get a full, beautiful look any season out of the year out of this palette, and I will fight you. Because this is just beautiful. I think Kathleen Lights killed it when she set up the color scheme for this. Like, even the neutrals and the mattes are super dynamic. Like, this cool toned brown, it is unlike any brown that I feel like I have. And I know it's kind of weird with such vibrant shades to go into this brown as being the exciting shade, but everybody is so into warm tones and everybody absolutely raves about warm browns. I have a very cool undertone in my skin, so warms on me can go very red and actually make me look a little bit on the sickly side if I start wearing them too blown out. With cool tone browns, I can really change up my eye shape and play around with a little more dynamic qualities without it getting too overboard. So I can really appreciate and really respect when somebody is going to take the time to really deliver on some cool tone shades as well. So I know this was a much faster video than I normally do, but I did want to take a minute because there are a lot of launches going on and I really wanted to focus on going through my collection, dwindle it down a little bit, and really talk to you guys about the products I love, why I love them, and why I continue to reach for them, because I will always review the newest and most exciting palettes, and I will constantly be playing with new products. However, when you ask me what I'm wearing on a daily basis, first off, 90% of the time, lately especially, it has been the Sultry palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Like, this is my new favorite. It lives right here on my vanity because honestly, I don't want to be getting it out of the drawer every day. But that being said, I really want to focus on using what I have, and you will see in the upcoming months, I'm hoping that I do less reviews because I really want to talk about the products I already love and really show you guys how to utilize and get the most bang for your buck, because makeup's expensive. We're getting a lot of products, and why do we want to get a product, watch a tutorial, use it once for like one look, and then let it sink to the bottom of the drawer and get forgotten about? So if you like that idea, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know some of the products that you've seen me use in the past that you might want to see me feature a little bit more. I will be happy to bring up some old favorites, and I am planning on doing a Shop My Stash video. So if there's a product that you remember me using, let me know, because I would love to make sure that that gets brought to the front in that future video. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, once again, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye!